Hey, Steve Basic Architect for the Build Show. Yeah, we're in a basement. Today's topic, stairwell to the basement. Now, this house has a pretty sizable garage, but it also has a really large basement. A lot of projects that I work on with my clients, we like to use part of the basement as, say, the garage warehouse, if you will. I always think in new houses, it's a really good idea to have a stairwell that goes from the garage directly into the basement. So I'm standing here in the basement. There will eventually be a door here, but that doorway will lead to a stairwell, and that stairwell will take us up to the basement. It'll allow the homeowner to do things like store golf clubs, extra stuff, skis, all of that stuff. Instead of cluttering up the garage or having to bring it down the interior stairs, you have that direct access down here. And I mean, think about your family coming off a ski trip. You come down here, you come down, you set up your skis, they dry nice in the basement, you put them up for storage until the next trip, and then you haul them up the stairs. But we're going to take a walk inside the well here. Probably going to be a little echoey because it's a concrete chamber, but we'll talk a little bit more about this stairwell. So you can see it's really not that wide. It's probably about a little over 3 feet, like 3'4", and it comes down and it turns 90 degrees into the basement. The orientation of this house suggested that, the stairway go this way. A lot of times I'll have the stairway be a straight run, which is a really nice setup in that you could take things like a 40-foot ladder or a canoe into your basement on the straight run. The little 90-degree turn here, it's a little harder to navigate with the larger stuff, but homeowners, we had that discussion. We are good with it. So here we are. Concrete walls, we're definitely good with it now, right? Not changing it. But notice that this is down lower than the wall, but this is also down lower than the wall here. Now, the reason for that is, in discussing it with the concrete guy, Larry, we didn't really know exactly where that concrete foundation is going to, or the concrete slab is going to come into that. So he intentionally leaves this low. And so the slab is probably going to get poured somewhere up here, maybe about 8 or 10 inches above the concrete wall here. So we'll rip this wood sill out, and they'll just basically put a pour stop here. They'll shoot it into the concrete. They'll pour that slab up against it. That'll give us that finished look, and then we'll simply frame a set of wooden stairs in here. Let's go back to the studio. We'll get Big Red. I got a nice, beautiful section that explains all of this, and we'll go through the details. We'll see you back there. All right. So, stairs haven't been framed out there, but have no worry. We have a beautiful little section here to look at, and we can talk about everything we're going to do out there. And when we finally do get it framed up, maybe we'll return and do a video and talk about when it's finished. Not a whole lot of magic, just a nice little wood frame stairs inside there to get us access from that garage down to the basement. So anyways, let's break out that section. Let's break out our good friend Big Red, and let's jump down it. All right, everybody. So before I dive into the section, I just want to give you some orientation. Remember, we were standing right down here with the camera over here filming in that direction. So you can see here, this is the foundation for the garage here, hence the 4 garage doors here, because it's 4 bays. And this is where the stairs are going to go down. And so we will have a pair of, or set of, wood frame stairs that will go down. And then when this is finished, it doesn't show it here because this is the foundation plan, but there will be a door at the bottom of the stairs there, and so you'll be able to go in. Now, I do a lot of these. The one thing that's really nice is if we have an orientation where we don't have a right turn at the bottom, if you can just kind of go straight and go right into the garage, that's a really nice effect, because then you can theoretically carry like a 40-foot ladder or canoe or just large items. The turn here does give you a little limitation, but clients really love it because, in the basement, remember, we have a beam line here and a beam line there, so pretty much all of this is utility and storage, and all of this behind here is utility and storage too. So instead of cluttering up your garage here with tools and golf clubs and skis and all of that stuff, you can literally bring it down and store all of that stuff down here in your basement warehouse. And there's a lot of, I've done this for a lot of varying clients. I actually had one where the guy was an avid bike rider, rode his bike to work every day and home. And in the garage, we put a set of stairs down, and he carved out a section here and made it a bike shop. So he stored all his bikes down there. He had his rack there where he could work on it. So in the morning, he would come down, he would grab his bike, carry it up the stairs, go out the door, and go off to work. And when he came back, he would do that. And we actually had a full bath in his basement, so he could come home, hang up his bike, put it up, and then he could go and hit the shower right away, get all cleaned up. So when he arrived upstairs, he was all clean and ready for the evening. So anyways, I think they're a huge hit for clients. I would say on, probably 75% of the new houses we do, we have access into the basement from the garage. So, but let's take a look at it. I have a section cut through here that we can take a look at exactly what's happening there. So here you go. There's the building section, building section through the garage stair. So you'll see here, this is the garage wall or stair wall. And just like the house, it goes down to footing here. And then we have another one over here, goes down to the footing. And you can see we have our slab is poured here. Now, a couple things of note here to share with you. Understand that the well, I have 2 inches below the basement slab. So there is a little step up there, but if anything should ever flood down here, then I don't want it to be able to run right in there. If I spill something, I don't want it running in there. I want it to be contained inside that well. Now, you could theoretically put a drain in here, but I don't like to put drains in garages where I don't know what the homeowner is going to pour in there, and are we going to contaminate soil and all of that. So a lot of the jurisdictions that we work in here in New England, they frown on having ground drains where they don't really have control on what the client, are they pouring motor oil down that drain? So anyways, we have that little 2-inch offset. The other offset that I like to be concerned with is, you can see here we have the top of the garage slab. So this is the garage slab, and notice the top of this foundation wall, it's poured 6 inches higher, and it's for the same reason as below. If I'm in the garage and I spill something, or I want to hose down my slab, I don't want the water running in and running over this if this was, say, a flush condition. So by having a little bit of a curve there, I provide containment within the garage. And you can see there's a little bit of containment there. And the fact that this is a 10-inch concrete, it's basically a step up and then it's a step down. So you can see here, here's the door that's going to go down into the basement. You can see it's hinged there. And then here you can see we'll simply put a ledger board into that concrete, and then we'll have our stringer get cut. We'll put our steps there. Here we have a 9.5-inch typical cut. That's the rough cut on the stringer. So the tread will actually be about 10.5 inches. And the rise is 8 inches. So here in Massachusetts, we're limited to 8.25 inches in rise. So we're just in that. It's a little steeper of a stair than I would put in the house, but nonetheless, it's certainly well within code, and it gets you down there. On top of the curb, you can see we have a series of posts here that we threw in the centers for. Those are just some simple 4x4s that will get anchored into the top of the foundation wall. This is in the foreground, and we just basically have a horizontal rail system there where we have our maximum 4-inch spacing there, so nothing can pass through there that's larger than 4 inches. And we just have basically a 2x cap on there, but it's basically just to keep people from falling in a guardrail situation there. And you can see with the 6-inch curb plus the 3-foot one, that's a 43-inch guardrail height. So it meets the guardrail restrictions of 42 inches. So anyways, there you have it. Of course, a handrail that's required. It needs to be continuous all the way from the bottom up to the top. And yeah, not a whole lot of magic here, but a whole lot of convenience. We did also, I always choose to show a little 2x4 wall at midspan. It helps take some of the bounce and some of the bending out of those stringers, and just helps stiffen that stairway system halfway, especially when, you know, there's a chance that someone might be carrying something heavy down into the basement here. So that just helps stiffen up that floor system a little bit. And of course, we have our 4-inch slab here. It'll get treated with a 4-inch stone pad there, and then we have our undisturbed soil below that. So, and then all the dimensions are called out here, 9-foot foundation wall, etc., etc. So, not, like I said, not a whole lot of magic, but a little magic and a whole lot of convenience. So, anyways, if you're building a new house, I'd think about putting a stair in from the garage down to the basement and start utilizing that basement as the warehouse it wants to be. So, there you have it. Garage stair. All right, there you have it. Big Red's job is done. That means my job is almost done, but not until I tell you we have hundreds of videos, Build Show Network. Go check them out. All my good friends, colleagues, they're putting up stuff every week, stuff they're doing every day currently right now. You're getting it firsthand knowledge of stuff that is just being done. So it doesn't get much better than that. And you get it all for free. There you go. That's the cherry on top. If you're looking for more from me, well, I got 2 Build Show originals on the Build Show Network. You hit that originals tab, scroll down, and Hilltop Aero Project and the Build Show Build Boston Project. So go check those out. If you're still looking for more, you can find me on Instagram, Steve Basic Architect. I'm there every day putting up something current, having a chat about it, having some kind of discussion, answering questions. So go check it out. Lastly, Unbuild It Podcast. That's right. Team up with good friends Peter Yost, Jake Bruton, and we talk about everything building. So yeah, every 2 weeks you get one of our podcasts. You can listen to it on all the audio channels, or you can go to YouTube and see the antics behind the scenes. So anyways, go enjoy. Like I said, time to put Big Red to bed. Time for me to get out of here, but not before Long Live Our Buildings.